However, I believe that the car industry, and we are all somehow related to the car industry, if it's for parts, is it for distribution, is it for logistics, is it for car manufacturer, is going through a very important moment right now, again, after 125 years, because ahead of us there is a few tendencies that are completely changing the car industry. First, let's start with the products. The products that we all sell, build, move, and so on, there will be in the future huge investments to be done. There is a huge tendency for electrification or hybrid engines. There is very strong regulation constraints because of climate change. There is also huge effort to make the cars more connected. And there is, as you know, some tendencies about autonomous driving. And all these things, they're completely different. Electric cars, autonomic driving, and so on, is huge investments that the car industry has to do over the next few years. And this means that we cannot afford to have any waste in our complete chain. So even we have worked for 100 years on this efficiency, we need still to enhance our complete efficiency in this network, because the investments are so huge that car manufacturers will have a huge stress on their P&L. This is one thing on the products. But there's also other things that will completely change to consumer behavior. As you know, today cars are sold from dealers to final customer. But more and more, the younger generations, our kids or their kids, I think they will be on the telephone, on the internet, select the car. They will perhaps not go to the dealer to get the car even. Perhaps they would like to make everything on e-commerce, like Amazon, and somebody, a jockey, brings them to them. And then so the friends from logistics, they have a complete different challenge. They will perhaps not transport the cars to a dealer, they will perhaps transport it to a hub, and then there will be a jockey to deliver it to the customer. So the consumer behavior is also changing, not only our products. And there's even more challenging subjects, like some consumers don't even want to buy a car anymore. The very young people in urban cities, they will just try to use a car for the mobility. This means another challenge for logistic and the car manufacturers, because the right car must be on the right place, even if it doesn't belong to a final customer as we know today. So this is another big change. Product change, consumer behavior will change. And then the last thing, I don't want to take too much time, everything I have said, the connectivity in the cars, or the e-commerce, or the sharing economy, all this goes together with digitalization and big data. And we have now more and more big data, all of us, everybody speaks about big data, but I think we should use this big data, and everybody speaks also about predictive analysis, what is the customer behavior in the future. The logistic guys, they need to check where that the right car is at the right moment and so on. But there's one other thing we have to acknowledge today in the world. The world becomes a little bit more unpredictable. For example, this week or next week, Brexit in UK. Who knows what is going to happen? Nobody knows. But the whole supply chain, we need to react. There's some trade barriers between US and China. Nobody knew some months ago. Now it's happening or not. So we all need to adapt, and we need to be very fast and agile. So what I want to say on this, all this big data, we all need to build systems together that are very fast and agile and can be adapted to this completely changing